Hello.
Hello, guys. Welcome to the second episode of the Joe Rocket Experience. We are here with Munke.
Hello. That is
How-
me.
How are you, Munke?
I'm doing quite good, actually. I will admit I'm doing quite good.
Oh,
What about you, Rocket? I need to know how you're doing.
I am doing very well. I was gonna say that ever since I've been sponsored by Dime, ever since he bought Necronia, I've been living very well off that Necronia money.
Yeah. Well, good for you. I'm happy for you, man.
Thank you. I was gonna ask you, have listened to the previous podcast, right?
I have.
And what are your thoughts on what ToiletLad said about you and Patria? ToiletLad's passing is a really sad thing, and I wish he was still alive. But I'm curious, what did you think about that?
I mean, everybody's passing is always sad and people will always be missed, but I think he has a right to be skeptical about a lot of things, and a lot of people do. But some of the things he has said that he quote unquote said was obviously true has just not been true.
What about the fact that he said that people are out to get him, people want to assassinate him? He specifically referred to Patrian people. Is that true?
That people wanted to assassinate him?
Yes, he did say that.
Well, I was planning to do a troll, not to kill him, but just to scare him. But I was never planning to kill him, and that is quite a long time ago. I don't remember exactly when, but I think it was after we had signed the peace deal.
Oh, so nothing really recent. You wouldn't say
No.
you've done anything in
No.
his passing.
I don't recall, no.
Oh, that's good. And he also said about you that you were the illegitimate ruler of Patria, that you took control without letting Kras know about it.
Yeah, that was what he has said. No, I did let Kras know. I actually consulted the other guy in Patria, Jake, and explained the situation, and we talked about it for a long time, and came to the conclusion that whatever Kras would have done, we could have, within the Constitution, we had rights to say that we do not agree with your decision, and to eventually get it changed to what the people would have wanted. But we just did not have time for that. And so we came to the conclusion that the best way to do it was to do it now. And there was no constitution. It was lost. I don't know how. It just was not there. It was not deleted by anyone. It was not purposely it was not hidden in any way purposely by anybody, and especially not me, since I have used quite a lot of time on that constitution with Kras. But it just was not there, and in some way you could say it was quite good timing. But because Kras was asleep, but we just had to act. It was not illegitimate. I would not say it was illegitimate.
I mean, by the way you're telling it, yeah, it does not sound like it was illegitimate. But, it's very convenient that that constitution happened to disappear. I know. Anything, but it is.
Yeah, I know. And the thing is, I can never prove myself innocent, but I can never be proven guilty either. So you just have to take my word for it.
Yeah, I guess.
Because you have to think about this. Why would I purposely delete something I have spent hours on? If not not days, but I've spent multiple hours over the course of multiple weeks on this document. Why would I just delete it?
That is true.
Or destroy it. And especially as a guy, I consider myself to be someone who respects the law quite a lot. But again, it was very convenient in I know it seems so planned and such perfect timing, but there technically was no law, and even if the law was there, it would have eventually been carried through our goals. So it just it's easy to say it was illegitimate, but it just was not.
The Constitution really needed to have an article saying coups are illegal unless approved by the government. I remember doing that in one of my nations. I can't recall if it was Chesapeake or when Peller was still independent, but I remember
that's actually so funny.
I know.
It's actually so fucking funny. But no, yeah, I know it's easy to say and to point fingers and to say, well, yeah, this seems very fabricated, so it must have been, but it just was not, and you can only take my word for it.
I will. I have no other choice.
Thank you.
Do you have anything else to comment about what Toilet said?
Well, I think the main thing is I was very disappointed in Toilet. I think
you are.
Yeah, he had promised, and also just in general the Comerian people, but especially Toilet. He had promised peace and promised that he would advocate for peace until the very end. And to hear that he was the deciding vote in declaring the war just made me even more disappointed. Because if I recall correctly, he said that there were 5, I don't know, senators or what they're calling Comer that had to vote, and he was the third and deciding vote. To hear that from someone who promised peace,
So you're
in some way
a hypocrite.
Yeah, definitely. And also someone who I don't know, it's just it seems so weird to me that someone who advocates so much for peace is literally the person most responsible for a world war. It just doesn't seem right.
Wouldn't you argue that the late Nex was the one responsible for the war, or better yet, the Daimo doesn't?
No. Comer was the nation that declared the war on us, and so it's their fault. We had never. There were a lot of speculation, and they were certain that we were going to declare war on them, but it was quite the opposite, actually, and so it's quite funny to me in hindsight that this could have been avoided in so many ways, because we were never going to declare war. We never had any intention of doing it. We were discussing what to do within Ceres, like what to do in the event that they were going to declare on us. We were never discussing anything about being the aggressor, because we had no intention and no real reason to. And we tried to make that very clear, but it seems that the diplomatic efforts has been misunderstood, I think.
Would you say misunderstood or just ignored for other people's benefits?
Both. It has been misunderstood by some, and I think Toilet might fall into the category of him misunderstanding and not interpreting our words the way it was meant. But especially people have used the words we have said and just ignored them completely for their own benefit. But yeah, we never had any intention to, and we think we made it very clear, but maybe we just have not made it clear enough. I don't know. We tried to do a bunch of diplomatic efforts with Cormier. I remember asking for an embassy in both our nations to have a quick way, especially with so high tensions, have a quick way of communicating safely and securely with each other without miscommunication. But that was denied. And it was rescheduled. Like, it was not completely denied, but it was said that it would be done in the future, and they would reach out, but they never reached out. Do you think
that if someone else was the leader of Cormera, would it have gone any differently? Let's say Cryobert, for example. What if he was the leader?
It doesn't seem so. Not by Toilet's tale, at least. It seems that they were both ready to get freaky with Patria, no matter what. So, like, I don't think it would have changed anything. I don't think that. I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also. He said that they had been very diplomatic about regaining the lost lands in the Unification War. But Kras, which was the chancellor at the time they asked for the land back, he received a message asking, just plain out asking for the land back. And when he said, no, I don't think we want to do that, they were just like, okay. They didn't come with a counter offer. They weren't really interested in like trying to have a diplomatic effort to regain the land. It was more just like, oh, we tried once, so that justifies this war. It wasn't really like that deep of a diplomatic approach to it, I would say. I think it's very I don't have the word for it.
Yeah, of course. I understand.
I think you understand.
Yeah. Shall we move on to other topics?
Sure.
All right. I'd like to take a minute to address Amanita's passing.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've heard about it. It's really sad. She was a great friend of mine. And
she was a great friend of mine too.
And I think she was one of the kindest people that were here on this land. And
definitely.
Yeah, I would just like to give my condolences to everyone before we move on.
Same. I would definitely also like to give my condolences. Like that I was very saddened by that news.
Yeah, it's really weird. And you know how her will never states that she dies. She only just is gone. So we don't really know if she's dead, but either way, what difference does it make?
Yeah. We can only really hope.
We can only hope she's living a better life somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, we should move on. Our listeners sometimes send us questions, and we received some last minute. Would you like to answer those questions?
I believe you're referring to the what is his plans with Post Sylvan.
Yes, what are your plans with Post Sylvan? And what is Post Sylvan?
Well, the thing is, I don't really know what Post Sylvan is. I know it's the nation that lives close to Atai, but not in Atai. It's like right on the border, right?
No.
Yeah, I think it was. I don't know if I recall correctly, but it was just somebody who like showed up and was like, "Hey, can we have this?" And the when they were making the peace deal, and they were like, "Sure, you can have this." I think I cannot completely remember what happened, but and well, we don't have any plans with it really. Like, of course, we want to, if we could, regain all the Patrian land and liberate all Patrian citizens, but that's just
you're aiming
not really
for a greater Patria.
No, because that's not possible, and I won't. It has. I wouldn't say it's called Greater Patria because it's just the Patrian homeland, but it has been proven that we might not have all the homeland that we actually are like entitled to have.
You know, that's
that's a hard pill to swallow.
That's
but
very sad. I know that.
And that's again the benefit of other people.
Exactly.
More powerful people.
It's the same when I think about all of the Chesapeake land. Obviously, it's dead now and there's no way of regaining it. But I just think it's sad that Chesapeake really is gone and it will never have all of its land back. And even if it did, there is no Chesapeake to have its land back. And that is very sad because Chesapeake was one of the, in my opinion, it was the best nation. But obviously that is a bit biased. And
well, it is probably a bit biased because I would say Patria is the best nation. But you know, I get what you mean. Definitely.
And you know, we also received a question by the King 47 Fortnite.
Yes.
And he's asking, will you join Ricky Unity?
I have been thinking about it actually.
Oh really?
But considering it's Fortnite, I wouldn't really. I don't think it would work out that well.
What is the King's reputation on the server? I've never really interacted with him that much, except for seeing him while he was in Amar.
Well, the conversations I've had with him, I've always tried to like be on good terms with him, but I don't know if he just doesn't like me, and that's completely fair. But yeah, I just don't think he does. I just don't think he likes me.
All right,
and so I don't really have an opinion on him so much because like I don't speak with him that much.
All right, thank you. And before we go any further, I'd like to announce that for the Christmas special episode, we will be running a giveaway in which one random winner will receive a full set of netherite armor, fully enchanted. And for that to happen, we are not going to promote it anywhere because we want to see how many people listen to the podcast, you know? And for anyone that would like to participate, including you, Munke, you can message me and you will be entered into the competition.
What if you spoil it to other people?
You know, I've not really thought about that, but I don't think it's in your best interest to tell other people about it.
Well, I won't. I was just curious, like...
Yeah, there are no rules against it, you know?
Oh, okay. I'm just asking.
I don't see why anyone would do that. I mean, you want less competitors, so your chances to get it are higher.
That is true.
And this will also promote the podcast and will make people listen to it more. Because we're going to be doing this. It's not going to be just for the holiday special. And it might happen in any episode.
Mm.
And the winners will be declared on that holiday special with Flabby.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. You know, and I think we should move on. I was gonna ask you, what are your thoughts about Metal being renamed to Sex City?
Oh, I think it's I think it's like one of the best things to have happened
Really?
in this world. Yeah, it's amazing.
I don't know what to think about it because it's it is very funny. They're really taking a chapter out of history, and
that is true. But I don't think Mittel will ever be forgotten as Mittel, and I don't think that people will call it Sex City when referring to Mittel. I think it will still be referred to. I will still refer to Mittel, but if I think it's more of a joke, and considering it's a joke against someone who took a lot of stuff from me, I don't have too much against it.
I'm basically living off of Dime a Dozen's money, so I like that. I'm not gonna comment on Dime. Plus, I've not been around for the things he did. I was pretty dead,
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not gonna get into that. But if you want to say anything. I will say something. I am sad the way that Dime handled Mittel, and especially Casper's legacy. He was a good friend of mine, He's a very good friend of mine. Yeah, in Burnock and before Burnock, in what the hell was it called? The Delos. Wait, wasn't it Delos? Yeah, it was Delos, right? So I don't know.
Delos definitely. He was a close friend of mine.
Oh, and I've never really met Casper. He died a couple days before I started becoming active politically, before I joined Occitania and everything. So it's really sad.
Well,
he seemed like a great person.
He was an amazing person, great diplomat, great guy. Definitely. Miss you, Cass, if you hear this. I mean, you're dead, but
Never stop believing in an afterlife.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, do you have anything else to say for the podcast?
Not other than I'm extremely annoyed at the war.
Oh, really?
But I think I've already communicated that pretty clearly.
You have, but the war is pretty much over now, right?
Yeah, it is. It's crazy.
It is.
It's over.
All the bloodshed. It's finally over, and
all the bloodshed, all the unnecessary.
Happened, but
let's just keep that word in, the key word, unnecessary.
Unnecessary bloodshed. Yes. I think we're gonna end the podcast right here. If you don't have anything else to talk about.
I actually don't.
Okay. And, I got this idea proposed to, by the late ToiletLad after I finished recording with him, that the guest I have on this week should ask the guest on the next week a question. So the next
guest. Did he ask anything to me?
Yes. No.
He did.
He did not know
that would have been
going to be on the podcast.
Oh, well, it would have been cool if he asked the question. Well, okay. I will ask a question. Does it have to be person specific?
I mean, the next guest will be Potato Hustler.
Oh.
So,
Potato.
You can ask him any question you want. As you know, he's my husband.
Oh, lucky guy.
Yeah. He is. I'm not, but he is.
Oh, you both are. Potato. Well, I would say, what is your post-war opinion on Patria? I think that's the best question I have for him.
All right, I will.
And wait, can I elaborate real quickly?
Yeah, of course.
What are your post-war opinions on Patria, and what do you hope to achieve with Patria diplomatically in the future?
I think that's a very good question, and I think you should tune in to the next week's podcast.
Oh, I will.
and
I will.
hear about it. Right?
I will.
Thank you for coming, Munke. It's been
Thanks for having me. Damn, this has been fun.
yeah, it's been great having you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for listening to the second episode of the Joe Rocket Experience. And don't forget about the giveaway. So, thank you. Bye.